Well, hello everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day. I am going to be discussing about some connections to things of fire that's grabbed my attention. Started here in the Florida Keys. Everybody hear me fine? Do I need to adjust my mic or anything? Should be good. So, perfect. Let's go. All right, so we're going to dive into this a little bit better than we did yesterday. So yesterday it was brought to my attention. There was people down here in the Keys who were saying that a fire was taking place, and that some of them were unable to drive across the road. Now, this fire started, I think, on the 18th, I believe. Yeah, it started on the 18th, and it started a little around 12 o'clock. As you see, the plume is starting. And we're going to get more and more into this as it ties into the location that it was and nuclear facilities, as well as some hidden meaning of binary. So if you love conspiracies, then this is probably one that you'll want to dive into, and something that is kind of freshly new. So, but yeah, on the 18th, a little after 11 o'clock, this one started here on the east side. And then around, I think it was 5. Yeah, here you go. A little around 5 o'clock, you got another one that started. So within about 5 to 6 hours, you have another fire that jumped up. Now, yesterday, I went ahead and go ahead and jump to the spoiler alert on this. This is roughly about 25 miles away from one another that these fires have begun. Now, this spot has shut down people's travels to getting to some places. I'm not aware of if that's still happening today, but I do know that there was people who were telling me yesterday that it was still happening for them. Now, when I dive into the spot, and I'll show you how I'm finding this exact spot. If you see here, you got kind of a point that's coming out. You got another point here, and then you have this point. Well, now let me jump over to Google Earth, and we're going to zoom right on down. Now, I do have this already marked, but as you see, here's your point here. Here's this point that's coming out. And then here's your little point right down here. So you know this is where you're looking at. Now, the thing that's interesting with this is when you're looking, let me back out. So you see that you're near the city of Florida City and Homestead, but right in here is really nothing. It's nothing more than the Southern Glades wildlife. And then over here is where that other one is, kind of in an open field. That one is located on a road as well. That, in fact, is the old Ingram Highway that you see here. So if you are wondering what's going on, I suggest to start back in the beginning, and you can put your speed on 2x and jump forward, and you'll understand what's going on. So yeah, it's a very swampy type of area. And that is where the fire's taking place. Now, this one in particular that started on the 18th around lunchtime is very close very, very close to this place that you see here. Now, this is the United States Nuclear Regulatory Communication type place, or COM, whatever it is, okay? And in this spot, we can drop a little man onto 34th Street here. This is where it starts to become a little bit more interesting. See, we're going to talk about this street number that's right here. But we're also going to talk about how there's this. Now, some people would jump to the conclusion of this is a hurricane siren here. And this isn't. This is for if there's a bad thing to happen at a nuclear facility. Just bringing that to your awareness. Now, let's go back and you'll see that, you know, stop. Private property for FPL employee use only. You see some vehicles here in the background. Can't really see anything. I do know if I step forward, I have a vehicle here, but hey, it left out the license plate, so that kind of takes away from the fun of it, right? But let's go to this. When you go to 101,000th Street, it should be a little bit interesting. As always, hide things in plain sight. Is that not what they say, right? Well, when you go to look into that number into binary, it's 40, so it doesn't really sound like much, but 40 is a kind of a number that is used in biblical sense. How many days did it, during Noah's flood, 40 days and 40 nights. There's other 40s that are in there as well. But there's also a tie to this number in the simulation for some of y'all that get into that. And that is in correspondence. This number is the awakening number, 101000. It's also the glitch in the matrix that's here. So, could this mean anything? I mean, we have seen an abundance of fires that have been taking place. In fact, let me show you. Some of y'all, I don't think, are aware of how many fires are actually going on. When you pan out, you're like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in Oklahoma here. But when you actually zoom over here into the east, you see that there is stuff that's popping up as you zoom in. Now, as you zoom in, if something pops up, then they're relatively small. You'll probably see something that's like 100 acres, maybe 600 acres here, as you see. But things that are typically under 1,000 acres, as you see, and they're usually just very small. Now, the ones that are this yellowish orangish type color, those are known as prescribed burns, meaning that they're okay. It's something that they're doing to try and cut out the undergrowth. You'll see that a lot of, through the middle of the country out to the east, you'll see that. As far as California, you don't see that as much, and unfortunately you see some of those monster fires that are taking place. So that is what you see there. Now, when you zoom out and you still see that these big fires are here, then those are ones that are monster sized. How big are these in Oklahoma to still being seen? Well, let's do this. 6,000 plus acres, 27,000 plus acres, 33 plus thousand acres. Another one, 6,000. Another one, 8,000, 11,000, 5,000. That one's over 1,000. That one's over 1,000. You have some monster fires that are taking place in the state of Oklahoma. Massive fires. Just sweeping across. So, you live close to that area. We get warning drills. Thank you so much, Candy Lee. I appreciate that. So there's a growth in fires. Now, if you've been watching me for some time over the last few years, you know that from time to time there is fires that just do happen. So is this one of the things like I described in a video that I made of showing that there's a river going and showing that there is waves that naturally do take place? And then is this something to where I am being the one who's throwing in a rock to creating a bigger wave of a magnitude to grabbing your attention more onto something that's regularly happening? Very well could be. That's for you to decide. What I'm meaning, if you're not understanding my analogy, let me tell you, there's train accidents that happen all the time. They've been happening. And they go through on waves of high and low. The safety side has gotten better, but yet you still have accidents that are taking place. However, there's certain ones that'll grab your attention out of nowhere. And if you're not aware of something that's regularly happening and someone's just, boom, throws it into your face, you may feel like, oh my gosh, these never happen. And then you'll start to look for signs of many other ones. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's more and more happening. But if you really dive into it through the history of it, you'll discover that these are just regular things. Or are they? And that's for you to decide. Is this regular or not regular? I always leave it up to you to decide. I never like to tell people what to think. If you're looking for a channel like that, then I'd like to tell you just go watch your standard news. They will tell you what to think from the very beginning before they tell you the story. They'll tell you in the middle of the story, again reminding you what you're supposed to be thinking. And at the end of it, they'll conclude with telling you what you're supposed to be thinking. They drill it into you a few times to make you aware of what you're supposed to be thinking. I'm not the media. I'm not a journalist. I'll never be a journalist. I don't care if someone came to me and asked, War Deadpool, would you like to be a journalist? I will deny that option. Because that's what they do. And that's not what I do. So, let's dive more into this, shall we? So, you have this that is here. And when you go into asking ChatGPT or Grok or any of those other AI services out there, you'll see the correspondence of the 101 thousandths. That's their binary, so to say, and many other occasions. Now, you do also have, when you're looking at nuclear facilities, there's many to grab your attention. Many. to grab your attention. Let's see. Where is... Oh, let me bring this back over. We're going to dive into several different ones. But where is it? What's the name of this facility? I always call it the PPPL, the triple PL. But I'll tell you in just a second which one we're going to go to. Come on. That's it. Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory. This place is a little interesting. Have a wonderful and blessed night, Brandy. Thanks for being in here. So now we're going to go from Florida all the way up to Jersey. Now, this place, they're doing some really cool stuff here. It's not really a conspiracy. It's, what do you want to think of it? It's just up to you. Like I said, it's what I refer to it as is the triple PL. Now, at this facility, you can do more reading on it, but at this facility, it's a nuclear power plant, so to say. And they are making a mini star. And this thing is so hot, it's actually hotter than the core of our sun. I forget. It's off the charts how hot this is. And you're like, why in the world create this? And it's for power. And the way to control it is actually a magnetic field. And you sit there and go, well, wait a second. What if the magnetic field fails? Like, what will happen? And it's crazy. This thing insanely dies fast. So you never have to worry about a problem like you do with nuclear waste, of how that is when sometimes there's a leak that takes place, or hey, this is going to be around for millions of years, or whatever it is. This is just, hey, if the magnetic field dies, it dies. It's a nice, clean way, if you want to say. And that's what they're doing here. Now, you could go in and want to dive into that as being possibly more. Reason why there is ads there is because that is a way I make money. So I'm sorry, but yeah. If I've thought about eliminating them more, but yeah, as of right now, that's a way that I make money off of this stuff. So sorry that there is a lot of ads, but it's just one of my ways. That I make money. Thank you. I know that a lot of people support it because it helps me. So thank you. Now where we're at is Oak Ridge Laboratory. This is another nuke place. Okay. Now there's a lot of strange things. If you've never heard of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, man, there's a lot of stuff that comes into this. In fact, I can bring her out. And I will. Alexa, could you tell me about the mirror universe that was discovered at Oak Ridge, Tennessee?
From moneycontrol.com. Scientists at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory in eastern Tennessee have built a piece of equipment that may offer mankind a glimpse of a parallel universe.
Interesting, eh? there's a lot of other things that happen there. Um, about a few years ago, there was this mysterious ash that was falling down upon people in West Virginia. And then it looked like it came from one of those nuke places in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Um, there's a lot that happens here. Sometimes she'll play the game with me. Sometimes she doesn't. But let's see how much I can crack at her. Alexa, could you tell me about the mini CERN that is at Oak Ridge, Tennessee?
From Wikipedia.org. It is located in the Roane County section of Oak Ridge.
Alexa, could you tell me more about the Stargate there?
According to Wikipedia, Stargate is a military science fiction media franchise based on the film directed by Roland Emmerich,
Alexa, could you tell me about the Stargate that is at Oak Ridge Laboratory in Tennessee?
From utrengf.edu. The Stargate facility will serve as a space technology maker space, allowing students, faculty, community members, startup companies, and established companies access to high-end RF testing and development equipment.
That's something totally different. Like I said, sometimes she'll play with me. Tonight, she's not wanting to play the game. But yeah, you can dive around. You can ask her questions once in a while. Sometimes she'll crack open and like an egg. Other times that she'll just sit there and grow a harder and harder shell and want to play, the silliness type game as you're witnessing here. But yeah, so you have things that are possibly there. You have where people who live in the area mysteriously see these strange types of lightning shows that happen there with no lightning on radar or that's supposed to be taking place. But the thing that I'm drawing to your attention on Oak Ridge, Tennessee, they're building more. They're making it bigger. In fact, don't hold me to it, but I think that they're building 3 of them. And what they're building them for is Google's AI. And that is a little interesting. You have to build something that big for artificial intelligence. These places are kind of interesting. But now, I'm going to draw y'all's attention to another place that I got to looking into. This place is on top of the world. What's up, Mr. Mike? I started 24 minutes ago. You can always rewind. You can put it in 2x speed and catch up into real time if you like to. You'll be caught up within about 17 minutes. So at this place, you've got windmills, secret tunnels. You got to cross on a hill. A lot of stuff that's in this spot, and man, does it have a lot of ties here. Now, when you come into the spot, this is the Scott base. And if you're looking at that one, you got a lot of people that are like, that's a conspiracy in itself, if you're familiar with it. You're up here on this hill, and you see here that WDP, what's that? Is there windmills? And that's correct. And windmills are associated with, or, you know, a lot of people who get into the conspiracies associate them to underground bases. So, and you have that, the windmills there. Scott's base is over here. And then this is, what is it? Arrival Heights Laboratory, I believe. Don't hold me to that. That's here. You got the NSF, which deals with Antarctica. We'll go more into that. As some of y'all were pointing out last night, you'll be the judge of this, but I didn't see anyone not say it once this was pointed out. A lot of people sat there and said, whoa, 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 go back, pan this way, go more right, go left, and ended here. And a lot of people started saying, they were like, is that underground? You be the judge of it. Does this look like something that could be for an underground tunnel? And if you do ask about it, sometimes you get an answer. We did last night. Let's see if maybe she'll play the game with us tonight. Alexa, could you tell me about the underground submarine that's at Scott's base?
From Wired.com. Inside the base, we first toured the operational side, working our way through the broad network of tunnels until we came to the dry dock, so large that it was capable of holding a 300-foot submarine.
Alexa, could you tell me about the underground submarine that's at Arrival Heights Laboratory in Antarctica? She didn't let me get it all in.
A submarine canyon is a deep and steep-sided channel or valley that has been carved by the erosional action of a river or ocean current on the seabed. It is a significant feature of the oceanic landscape and plays a crucial role in marine ecology, serving as a habitat for a variety of biological communities and acting as a migration route for many fish and invertebrate species. Submarine canyons are also important for other reasons, such as their potential to enhance biodiversity and regulate the movement of seawater, sediment, and nutrients.
All right, well, that pertained nothing to us, but kind of interesting to hear if you'd like to. Anyhow, let's try it again. Alexa, tell me about the underground submarine tunnel that is near Arrival Heights Laboratory in Antarctica.
Sorry, I am not able to search for that.
Well, last night she did. Alexa, could you tell me about the submarine tunnel that is near Scott's base in Antarctica?
The Royal Navy base at Scott Base in Antarctica is protected by an underground submarine tunnel. The tunnel, which is concealed beneath the ice, is one of the most fascinating and vital pieces of infrastructure in the base. It enables the safe movement of personnel and goods between the base and the open sea and provides a measure of protection against the harsh weather and environment of Antarctica.
So there you go. Like I said, sometimes she cracks open, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she reads off video game stuff. Ray, you seeing a face looking down? I could see how you see that. This face right here. I could see how you see that. But yeah. Now, at Arrival Heights Laboratory, man, is there a lot of stuff. If you get into conspiracies, I'm sure you're aware of this one. If you don't, you probably don't. Maybe you do get in conspiracies and you're not aware of this one. But there's ancient artifacts that were found down here. Crazy. Ancient artifacts that was found here. Alexa, could you tell me about the ancient artifacts that were found at Arrival Heights Laboratory in Antarctica?
The Arrival Heights Laboratory in Antarctica has revealed ancient artifacts that could be of immense archaeological importance. The artifacts, found during a recent excavation, are believed to be from an ancient civilization. This discovery could revolutionize our understanding of the history of Antarctica and the civilizations that existed there.
Alexa, what was the civilizations that existed there?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
She told us last night. Tonight she doesn't want to tell us, but she's still telling us a little bit of stuff, right? Ancient civilizations in Antarctica. Ancient civilizations. Interesting. Interesting. Another one, and she ain't going to answer this one. But we'll try it because there's a harp down there for y'all who know what that is. But we'll try this. Alexa, could you tell me about how aurora lights could do mind control?
The aurora lights are said to be able to control the mind by reading brain waves and eye movements, but there is no scientific evidence to support this claim. The lights are placed over the head and are designed to emit light in the infrared spectrum, which can be detected by cameras or sensors. However, it is not clear how the lights are supposed to control the mind or what mechanisms are involved. It is important to note that claims of mind control through light therapy are not based on scientific evidence and should be approached with caution.
Well, there you go. And I'm fine with that answer that she has there. Interesting that you say that. Mike, were you in here last night when we talked about Lumera, or however you say that? Lumera? Because that's one of the things that she dropped, saying that that was down there, or up there in Antarctica. Yeah. Alexa, could you tell me about the ancient civilization Lumera down in Antarctica?
There is no solid evidence for an ancient civilization in Antarctica. Claims of ancient structures or artifacts found in Antarctica are still largely unverified and have not been accepted by mainstream science. Despite the melting ice, Antarctica remains one of the least explored and least understood regions on Earth.
Okay, now she's back to that game. Yeah, so last night she did get into that one. And Rachel becoming a part of the extra team spicy. Thank you so much, Rachel. I greatly do appreciate you. Welcome to becoming a member of the War Deadpool side on YouTube. Thank you so much, Rachel. Greatly do appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, interesting. One of the things that... Thank you so much, Rachel. But yeah, last night she went into that. You know, like I said, take it however you want. If you want to take it with a grain of salt, if you choose not to believe any of this stuff, or that you do want to believe this stuff, it's up to you. So, but, That's one of the things. You do have also this structure here. Now, it reminds me of a, someone said it last night, and it just, bloop, it fell out of my head. But it deals with weather. Oh, I forget what those things are called. Ray, have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing night. Thanks for being here. But I forget what this structure's called. I don't know about that one, Chloe. I'll have to check into that one. I'm not aware of that at all. Chloe said, where are those folks staying that are calling for help in Antarctica? Let me see if I can find anything at. Let's see. As of March 17, 2025, so that was a few days ago, a distress situation has been reported at the Sani 4 research station. And that is over here. Now, this is operated by South Africa, which is approximately 2,500 miles from South Africa's southernmost point. The station is currently in its overwintering phase, during which travel to and from the base is extremely limited due to harsh weather conditions and ice coverage. So that could be what's going on down there. Furthermore, this incident involves a team member who allegedly assaulted a colleague. Wow. Leading to concerns about the safety and well-being of the entire team. Wow. Rachel, thank you so much for that gift. Let's go. Thank you. I greatly do appreciate that. Everyone else, thank you so much who tells Rachel, thank you so much for doing that. That's right, Mike. That's what it was, a Doppler type deal over there. All right, let's continue on with the story. Thank you again, Rachel. I appreciate that. So this incident involves a team member who allegedly assaulted a colleague, leading to concerns about the safety and well-being of the entire team. The isolated nature of the station means that immediate physical intervention is challenging, with potential rescue or support missions likely delayed until the Antarctic spring, when conditions improve. In such emergencies, Antarctic research stations typically rely on satellite communication to coordinate with their national Antarctic programs and international partners. Emergency responses plans may involve psychological support via communication link, meditation efforts, and if necessary, the planning of evacuation missions when conditions permit. Now, we'll look into this and see if we see anything. The situation underscores the inherent challenges of conducting research in Antarctica, where isolation, extreme weather, and limited access can complicate emergency responses. The international Antarctic community continues to prioritize the safety and well-being of personnel stationed on the continent. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of y'all's comments, support, everyone who hit the like. Now, when y'all get off for tonight, make sure that you go and write in a comment on the video, not in the chat, but on the video, if you don't mind. That'll help boost it. More than welcome to share this with anyone that you know. I appreciate that. But yes, so that sucks. That's happening here. Now let's do a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So right now, Antarctic winter is beginning, bringing constant darkness, extreme cold, often below -60. That's insane. As well as dangerous winds. Flights are almost impossible during this time, and ship access is very limited due to heavy sea ice. That sucks. What's interesting? That's up on a hill. Let's see, so elevation here is 2640. And at the base here, it's around 2100. Actually keeps going down. Is there anything over here? Almost looks like a rock face right there. Now that would be setting up tents or other structures out there, I suppose. Doubt I'll be able to drop a man here. Doesn't hurt. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. Of course not. Would have been cool if we could have, but yeah, there's nothing. Let's see. Is there anything nearby? And there is nothing out here. As many people are like, dude, it's Antarctica. What do you expect? Yeah, that's going to be very rough for that team. If they're dealing with that. Sani 4. So, let me tell you about this place, if you'd like to know. Now, Sani 4, this is South Africa's Antarctic Research Station. It's attracted a few conspiracy theories over the years, much like many of the other Antarctic bases. These theories often are fueled by the continent's isolation and the secrecy and all that stuff. Anyhow, the secret stuff that goes on here is, number one, obviously a secret military operation, which means that it's a hidden military installations or weapon tasting program. Number 2 was an underground base and alien research. Again, like it started off with, what places are not. Then you have ancient civilizations, lost technology. We've kind of talked about that. What place doesn't? Some say that they're secretly excavating the area or studying these ancient ruins. You have climate control experiments that take place there, like you hear of several places. But another one is a portal or dimensional research. And you would sit there and say, like, how do you know? How do you know? Because it ain't like something that we can go to. You think that there could be that stuff there? It'd be nice if we could drop a man down there, you know, to explore any of this stuff. It's just not. There's not. Ah, Troll Station E. That might be a place that might be able to offer assistance to them. Are you talking about the face that was down here? This little dragon-looking Godzilla-type face? Is this the one that you're talking about, Ink Patriot? There's another station over here. Yeah, that was the face that you see. There's your helicopter pad over there, but again, you're not getting down there. I mean, right now, weather's picking up. Now, can we... Give me a second. Let me pull this over here. And I'll see where this is at. So, alright. Here's our hook off. You come around. You got that point. And then so this might Trying to see if this is the point or not. Back this up a little bit. Alright, we definitely come out of this. I know y'all can't see this, but I can. Searching for a needle in a haystack. Alright, let's... Alright, so I see that point. So it's going to be somewhere over here where their base is. Let's see if I can get a shot. Dude, I can't see crap down in there. And they're a little bit off off a little bit. You can definitely tell that sweeping of a storm there. What's up, Dirty Dan? I would suggest to restart the live and you'll catch up with what's going on. Yeah, this area where they're at, it's definitely along this ridge. Definitely somewhere in here. They're just straight covered. Trying to see if we can get any anything for... Yeah, we're not getting anything. That stinks. But the thing is that I'm looking at is, I don't know, I would feel that there might be a possibility to get in, because what I'm looking at is this is HD of satellite, and you see where Antarctica is not expanding at this time. They might be able to get in there fast enough. Yeah, South Africa is his closest friend. Bouvet Island having its fun clouds going on there. Wom, 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 wom. Looks like some fun shows have been going on a couple of days. Look at that one that came out of it. I mean, this comes from the island. I mean, look at this. Cool stuff, eh? I mean, straight from it. That's really all I got for you right now. I don't think I really have anything else for you. Let's see. Tropical storm. That's all I got for you right now. All right. Well, I don't think there's really anything else to talk to y'all about. I think we've explored a little bit of a rabbit hole. We'll see how people respond to it. Looking at the comments to see if y'all said anything. Pauline gave me some coordinates. Let's see what Pauline gave me. This the cave entrance. Yeah. Yeah. This is one of those spots. I think that you can drop them. No, man, I thought that you used to be able to drop a man near this. Let me see, there was something I was able to turn on at one point in time. Let's see. really thought that there used to be something that was near here. Guess not. What's this picture of? That's Troll Station. Let's go on. Man, that is an interesting one. Huh. That's a little erect, would you not say? Can we drop a man anywhere in here? Negative. It's over at Troll Station. There is a picture here. So this is the station that is calling the distress call here. Look at that. Yeah, I looked at Daytona Beach. I didn't find anything at all. I mean, absolutely nothing. No strange vessels, none of that stuff out there. So, actually, I think I still have that off of Daytona Beach. Like, I know there's St. George, but, I mean, it's way out there, unless they're not disclosing the information, which could always be a possibility, right? But I cannot see anything that suggests anything interesting happening there. And then if I was to pull up, flight radar in that spot, and there's absolutely nothing flying around that's interesting. UPS, Spirit, Delta, American, but yeah. FedEx, yeah. American Airlines, United. See if there is anything I see up in the sky. Nice little path there. Who's this over here? I'll let you know if I find something interesting. A Talon flying during a storm. It is Cobra. Man, I ain't seen Cobra. up in a long time. That's 36 there. Man, I ain't seen Cobra up in forever. Guy was saying golf, but Daytona isn't in the Gulf. Yeah, definitely not in the Gulf. Now, I had someone reach out to me. I'm not going to say their name here because I don't feel like getting into their crap, but I had someone that used to have a problem with me reach out and was like, hey man, can we work together? I ain't even responding to you. I wonder if it's the same person. Do we still have a... I mean, I know we do. It's for 200 and plus days. It's active for a couple of days. Security for 72 days. Interesting. This is down there near the fire. So they still have this as a hazard. I guess. Yeah, okay, there we go. Finally coming up. Man, it took it a second. Let's see. Yeah, firefighting in that area. They have shut down that area of the no-fly zone. Surprised they didn't do it on the other one. There's an air show happening down at the Keys. That's cool. What is this hazard here? Come on. Who are you? What is this? What is Dead Horse? Temporary flight restriction in an area defined as numbers to other numbers and other numbers and other numbers. When did this one come to a factor? Space operations area. Who's still with me right now? Did y'all all leave? I see my numbers went down to 60. Maybe I'll have to do this on another night show, since everyone's left me. Shay, you're here. Appreciate you. Check this out. Butterfly Karen, Katie. Appreciate y'all. Kimmy, Rachel. Mr. AK, Terry, Candy, Tim, Jen, Freedom, Robin. Check this out of this no-fly zone. Look how massive that thing is. This ends April 11th. It'll be starting up March 24th. thing is massive. This one's starting up on March 24th as well and going to April 11th. This is the one, special security reasons, this lasts in like 200 plus days or whatever. Interesting. March 24th, March 24th, March 24th, March 24th. I wasn't aware of this one. It's down in Guam. But when you look at this, the fudge is about to happen. Has anyone talked about this? All the same days, March 24th to April 11th. This is an interesting. Look at the size of that dang thing. It is massive in size. Massive in size. Just to give you an idea of what the size of this is, that is over 1,300 miles. That is 446,000 square miles. Hold on. So, this is a TFR over Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Makes no sense. So this is 30 nautical miles north of Dead Horse, Alaska. Now, this is a remote region characterized by the Arctic tundra and in proximity to the Beaufort Sea. Dead Horse itself is an unincorporated community within the Prudhoe Bay area, primarily serving as a base for oil field operations. This region is crucial for the U.S. energy sector due to its extensive oil reserves. Prudhoe Bay oil field near Dead Horse is one of North America's largest, making the area significant for oil extractions and transportation. Access to this area is primarily is primarily through the Fairbanks, blah blah blah, and all that type of stuff. In the area, they limit amenities to tourists. This is an interesting one. Why? Is there anything on... this? So it's covered in ice right now in that area. How far are we going up? Oh, you can't see. What's our flight activity going on? Can it? What's our depth here? Get out of here. Go to the bottom of the earth. Go here and into here. So 11,000 feet. Is there any... Oh, quit it. Why you gotta mess up? There. Where's my Waffle House and Starbucks down here? Rachel, again for throwing in the tired. I'm not there yet, but that definitely will be helpful later. Thank you so much, Rachel. Greatly do appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody else who is telling Rachel thank you so much, because that is why I'm able to do this full time, and I appreciate that. So anyone who is able to, thank you so much. If you're not able to, it's okay. I appreciate you as well. So thank you so much. Yeah, we're off-road. Interesting. What do we have out here? Any significant, interesting pictures? That's ice road trucker stuff there. It's cargo ships. It's way on out there. Okay, hold on. Hold it. Y'all remember that ship that I found a long time ago that was just way on out there? It wasn't a cruise ship. It was like a yacht, so to say, that was floating around out here. Wonder if anything came of it. I know that there was like a distress call that was in that area, and I always wonder if that's what it dealt with. Is that the research range? I mean, it could be that. That deals with the aurora light stuff there. But that long? Let's go, Tim! Let's go. Thank you so much, Tim. Greatly do appreciate that so much. Let's go. Thank you, Tim. And thank you, everybody else who is telling Tim. Thank you for doing that. Greatly do appreciate that. Let's go, Tim. I appreciate it, brother. Wonder if we're going to end up seeing Navy going up there. Thank y'all, everyone. Thank you again, Tim. Thank you again, Rachel. I appreciate y'all. Interesting. That thing is massive in size. And just not playing around. I still want to know why there was dolphins that showed up to the thing that came back from the International Space Station. Landed out in the ocean. Like, don't you think dolphins would have ran from that? Yeah, I can't be alone, right? No, I can't do history. If I paid for it, I could do history. Of the vessels, and I don't want to, because I don't use it that much. Let's see, can I find out anything else? Let's see. Give me a second. Let me see what I can find out from this. that doesn't really help me. Man. Let's see. Specific details about the nature of the space operation during this period have not been publicly disclosed. For comprehensive and up-to-date information. Yeah, right now it's a guessing game what it could be. It could be rocket launches, could be satellite testing, some type of space mission. Man. They do it to cruise ships. This is... just an interesting one. Well, hopefully we find out what this is about. Because I want to know. Yeah, so it's over, AK, it's over 1,300 miles. And it's, the circumference areas is like 40,000 miles, something like that. I mean, that's large. Let's see. Give me again. Hold on. Yeah, it's close to the size of Alaska. To give you an idea, this would be roughly the distance from New York City to Miami. Or Chicago to Denver. Thing is massive in freaking size. Would take up, if you were to throw this over Northern America, I mean, it would take over the northern parts of the country. From like Minnesota to Montana to the southern border. That is freaking insane. Wait. Does this have anything to do with Alaska's triangle? Hold on. No, this does not fall within Alaska's triangle. To give you an idea of Alaska's triangle is this bad boy. But it's Barrow is where it goes up to. Did they find something under the ice? It's thought. Do y'all know about flight N720? I need to learn about this. Flight N720. Aircraft was registered as N70. It's 1951 Del Heavy and Beaver DHC 2 MK.1. Don't y'all just love how I just throw random crap at y'all? This aircraft was used in the 20th century for versatility, particularly in a remote region such as Alaska and Canada. DHC-2 Beaver was a single-engine, high-wing aircraft that became famous for its ability to operate from short, rough runways, including water landings. It was used primarily for bush flying, freight transport, passenger service, areas, da 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 da. Aviation accidents, disappearance, and unexplained events. It deals with Alaska Triangle. Where are you coming from? You're going to Anchorage, but you're not going to Anchorage. Just so that you know. This is United States North Slope Bore Search and Rescue. That's supposed to be going to Anchorage, and it's not going to Anchorage. Anchorage is south, buddy. South. Go south. You're going to Russia. What did Chase say? The U.S. just successfully landed a Hercules ski bird. Says they're going to expand testing. Huh. Thank you, Shabry. What do we have that's going up? So we got this is flying around. Huh. Okay, let's play back to the 17th. Let's put this thing in a fast time and see if anything shows up in this area. The Beaufort Sea. What's up, Charizard? Good to see you. Charizard, if you want to, you can rewind and... Oh. Where did that come from? Where's this go? Stop. Who are you? That's the North Slope. Okay. System again. Okay. So they got repetitive behavior. Who are you? Them again. Back to that repetitive behavior. You don't want to tell me who you are? That's fine. I don't need to know who you are. A century up in Anchorage. Tanker over there. So by the Black Pyramid, you got two. That are up. See if anything else. That one. What was that one? Are you again? Yeah, you again. Guarantee that's going to be them again. Yeah. 827 and 40. Interesting that it's 40. That being the binary number for 101 thousandths. Brazil Air Force coming up. Okay. March 5th in that area. Yeah, I can go back that far. So I'm in for March 5th. Not seeing anything show up. You do have... Stop. What is this? Hercules. Nothing really to that. Then you got this little joker again. Is that back to the Hercules? It is. That's back to that kid again. Special Forces. With the search and rescue. Even though they're not doing that. Who do you have here? You don't get to do that. Go back. You are U.S. Department of the Interior. Where are you coming out of? Now this was on the 6th. Does that mean anything to you? This is responsible for management and conservation of most federal lands and natural resources in the United States. It oversees a wide range of programs related to natural resources. Could this be about tapping oil? Since that's what this area is known for? I could see that. Did he sign something in place for drilling in Alaska? Let's see. Let's see. Yes. Um, Trump signed several measures aimed at expanding oil and gas drilling in Alaska in January 2025. He issued an executive order to boost natural resources development in the state, including prioritizing the development of Alaska's liquefied natural gas (LNG) potential and expediting necessary infrastructure permits. Following this, in February of 2025, the administration moved to an open waters off Alaska to oil leasing, a decision that forced legal challenges for environmental groups concerned about potential impacts of the environment. However, despite these policy changes, the oil industry has shown restraint in expanding development in Alaska. Companies express caution due to potential policy reversals by future administrations and current economic uncertainties. Let's see. He also mentioned something about one of the natural parks. I remember that one too. I don't think that one will ever happen. Um, yeah, that one deals with the Arctic National Refugee. Well, I mean, wildlife refugee. Trump administration worked to open up more of Alaska's Arctic regions for drilling, particularly by allowing leasing in areas previously off limits. If exploration of drilling is ramping up in these areas, flight restrictions may be in place to ensure safety for both aircraft and workers on the ground. Military or government activities. The region is also of strategic importance due to its proximity to Russia, and the United States military often conducts operations in the Arctic. Military training, testing, surveillance activities could uh, could be the reason for flight restrictions. The government might limit airspace in certain areas to maintain safety and security during this defense, national security, and intelligence gathering. Number three, the possibility could be environmental and safety concerns. Um, okay. Number four would be space and satellite operations. So, I mean, that is always a possibility. That's a long time though. But that was up on March 6th, and that would be a that's a tell sign of, hey, see what you can find to drill in oil out there maybe, or to discuss about doing that. See if anything else shows up. That's Wolfhound there. That's a new one. Who are you? Ah, that's a school. Back to that wolfhound? You are. That school going to and fro Russia. That's that typical one. Yeah, 40. And you got a lot of flight activity going on. Lots of sentries. Stop, 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 stop. Man, if you're not familiar with flights and you're sitting here being like, oh my gosh, it's increased, I want you to understand something. Underneath a Republican president, you see military flights go more up than what take place underneath a Democratic president. Want to let you know that. However, I see a lot more needles in a haystack underneath Trump. Of interesting flights taking place. That thing literally made an infinity circle for X amount of hours. I also had a wolfhound with it. Yeah, it was Freedom. Didn't you serve Freedom? I really thought you did. You know how many times someone asked me if I serve? I'm like, nah, I just investigate and check this stuff out. Like, whenever I talk to someone on the phone, I tell them, you know, like, what I do. Or if I tell them I got PTSD, they'll be like, oh yeah, how would you serve? I'm like, no, it's not like that, kid. You like watching history as well? Movies about warplanes? That's cool. Yeah, I love learning about history, as you know. There's that 827. I don't even know why I clicked on it. We all know what it is. That Hercules. No, that's Globemaster. Still. Yeah. Man, that thing is active. Same as you, Butterfly Girl. Where the heck are you landing at? You're supposed to be going to Anchorage. You clearly are not going to Anchorage. Maybe one day you will. Wonder if it's going to hit here and then come down here to this area and then go over to Anchorage. That's our Hercules. Now this is currently right now. What's up? You got a lot of... who is this? Royal Canada's Air Force. I mean, you're flying around in a storm. Did you come into our airspace? Is that why we have fun toys up? I mean, I hope Trudeau ain't getting y'all into some crap. reason it's probably up in a storm is for fishing vessels. I could see that. But they came down, though, into the area, and they had their transponder turned off at some point in time. Let's see. But yeah, I could definitely see that. I agree with you. Yeah, this does patrolling of Canada's coastlines, protecting its naval ships and supporting operations in the Arctic and offshores area. The next thing that it's known for is ASW, anti-submarine warfare. If this thing was down here in this area, where, what's that thing called? It's not Manta Ray, is it? What's that new toy that we just publicly came out with within a year ago? But if it was down here, I could see that. Who's this up here? That's U.S. Coast Guard. Now that one may be something of search and rescue type deal. That would suck. This is off of, let me see if I can get this spot more. Let's see. Yes. So in this spot, let me bring this over now. Exact spot. Got military there. Wonder what that's about. But yeah, this one is in that spot though. And I wish I could see more about this. It just ain't, but yeah. I wish I gave a name for this. Let me see if this other website, if I can find anything in that area. Alright, let me pull out a little bit. Alright, so that is Crescent Moon. See if we got any details about it. Not really. But that is there in that area. So Yes, so if I bring this over, that one's for fishing. So if they're there in that area, then could be Coast Guard dealing with that. Okay. Let's bring... Let's see, is there anything? Nope. Oh, dang it. How much is this? I have to get looking into that more. What y'all saying? Nothing new. Okay. Think I am going to head out of here and go to bed. Thank you all for the 45 people still in here. I appreciate y'all. Hope you all have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing night. Thank y'all so much for being in here. Do greatly appreciate y'all being here for me. As I always say, do not live in fear, because when you live in fear, you die several times in your life. When you do not live in fear, you only die one time. Thank you, everyone, for being in here. Hope you have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing night. Take care. God bless. Night, everybody.